to our conference that time. I think took a total time first, and the second one. In 7 years, we have only the just for these kinds, because we believe this is an essential part of the development process of the justice in general. So more to go more in depth. I see Madam STAMATE here present. She is ready to come with a welcoming word. And I was saying that we want to have these kind of events more often where professionals would come together, share their experience. To the Minister of Justice, the parliamentary commission responsible for this field, because by the end of the day, the purpose is to channelize better the justice reform, because this is number one also in the agenda of European Union Adoration of the Republic of Moldova. When Moldova initiated discussions with the European Union, the fight against corruption and bringing down the oligarchs, these two components are directly connected to the first ambition, reform of the justice sector. Yes, I agree, this is a big ambition. Our colleague Cătălin from Romania can tell us if in Romania this was a priority when they joined the European Union, but through the creation of viable alternatives, we believe that we can do this because this shall contribute to the process and speed up the things. Now I would like to offer the word to Mr. Ambassador, who is a friend of our justice sector. So please, the floor is yours. And also, I know that it's Madam STAMATE is here with us. So, dear colleagues, it's a pleasure for me to open the second edition of the Conference of Commercial Arbitrary organized by AmCham. AmCham is working together with the government in order to consolidate the business climate and investment climate in the Republic of Moldova. Persistent preoccupation that we hear from foreign investors coming to this country, but also from those in the country, is the fragility of the state of law. And we saw that there are some notable progresses in the efforts of the government to solve this issue. And United States, together with other partners, are offering assistance to Moldova, including in the process of evaluation of judges and prosecutors. But meantime, the reform is being implemented, and the arbitrary instances, the arbitrary bodies are very important because their role is to enhance the trust of the investors. The alternative mechanisms to solve the litigations offer to the companies the option to solve the disputes quickly and in a transparent way. And these mechanisms underline the fact that the reconciliation and the relation is more important than to just gain a cause. Because we are convinced of the benefits of the arbitrary process, the United States, through USAID, is financing the project mediation and evaluation. And the money assigned for this is $1.3 million in cooperation with EBRD, and this is going to promote the alternative solving of litigations of commercial entities. And this action, it's just one part of our partnership between the United States and Moldova in order to build a prosperous democratic future for the country. I wish you successful discussions and good luck in everything you do. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Ambassador. The embassy, as I said, and the ambassador himself, is a huge friend of ours, and he's lobbying this. He's like an ambassador of our field because he always opens up the discussion about potential new activities within our field. Now I would like to offer the word to Madam Olesea STAMATE, who is the president of the Commission. And Madam STAMATE, the floor is yours. Mr. Gladei, Your Excellency, Mr. Ambassador, I want to congratulate you for a fantastic speech in Romanian. Dear colleagues, dear participants, it's a pleasure for me and it's a responsibility to speak to you today in the name of the Parliament of the Republic of Moldova. The International Arbitration Conference is a very important event that brings together the justice sector and the desire to consolidate the arbitrary practices at the global level. As a representative of the Parliament, I must recognize the importance of solving litigations through arbitrary approach. We live in a world of constant change, and the economical and legal borders become more permeable. In this context, it's vital for us to have efficient mechanisms to solve the disputes, and this should cover the complexity and diversity of the problems that we are facing. The arbiter is definitely an essential pillar of this mechanism because it offers an alternative for long and expensive litigations that are usually solved in a traditional way. We have to be flexible, and this is how the arbitrary offers new better solutions sometimes. And this is not only contributing to the efficiency of the process, but also to the maintenance of the trust in the legal system. Also, I would like to underline the advantages that the arbitrary is bringing to the international business environment. This offers neutrality, impartiality by eliminating the risks and offering to the parties the possibility to have expertise in the field, experts that understand the specific of the industry but also the international context. The Parliament fully supports the promotion of alternative methods to solve litigations, and of course the arbitrary in this context. And we are open to make it better, the legal framework, in order to promote the usage of such tools in solving the disputes, ensuring at the same time the respect of the high integrity and impartiality standards. We also encourage innovation and research within arbitrary field in order to face the new challenges and get the new opportunities in the legal world. We hope that through this conference we can share good practices and to contribute to the development of a modern legal framework in the context of the modern international arbitrary approach. Today we are in a plenary meeting and I'm not going to be able to be with you, but I encourage all my colleagues to share their ideas and to adjust further the legal framework, and we will fully support this effort. As a closure, I would like to say that I wish you to have an interesting discussions today, full of enthusiasm, and let this conference be an important part of consolidating the framework of international arbitrage. Thank you. Thank you very much, Madam STAMATE. Indeed, we live in a permeable world, and if to speak about solving litigations, we are more and more focusing on prevention. And we understand that the mediation is very important in this context. And definitely we count on your support, the support of the Parliament, because from what I know, the draft law is now in a full process, so hopefully it will reach the tables of the members of the Parliament and we can further initiate a public discussion, a profound discussion, in order to finally have a great final version of the legislation. Thank you very much. Have a nice day, Madam STAMATE. And before going to the Parliament, definitely the ministries are responsible. So we will offer the word to the representatives of the ministry. We know that this is a draft that is expected, and the people working in the field, they know how many studies have been done, and Valeriu Cernei is going to tell us about the study on evaluation of the arbitration legislation and practices in Moldova. So, Mr. State Secretary of the Ministry of Justice, the floor is yours. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. I would like to welcome you in the name of Madam Minister, Minister of the Justice, dear Excellency, Mr. Ambassador, Madam STAMATE, dear participants to this amazing event, dear friends. Many people from this room are my colleagues and my friends, so it's an honor for me to be present here today. Thank you very much for the invitation that we received. It's definitely an event that was expected in the context where the arbitration and mediation is more and more becoming important in litigation, in solving the litigations. And of course, it is a tool. And from this perspective, the institution of the arbitration has a very important role to play. I'm not going to go into benefits of the arbitration. You all know it because you work in the field. And today I want to speak about two subjects about the activities of the Ministry of Justice. So, as Mr. Gladei was saying, the ministry indeed is discussing this matter. And we have a plan in 2024. Those that are following our agenda, they know about this. So we, in our activity plan, we have included for 2024 this action that refers to the modification of the legal framework about the arbitration, revision of the law 23 and 24, for the commercial arbitration and international commercial arbitration. These are law from 2008. So we had, at that time, we decided to have two documents, but it's kind of in contradiction with the Constitutional Court decision. Nevertheless, I'm glad that we finally started to talk about those two provisions in order to adjust things. And at least from this perspective, of course, we needed for a long time already to revise the idea of having two documents instead of one. We know very well, and I hope people that are listening to us know also that we made a study, evaluation of the arbitration legislation and practices in Moldova, findings and conclusions. Mr. Gladei also worked on that, and a few colleagues of ours from Mr. Koval here present also was involved. So the study is a very well documented project. It was made in 2021 with the support, financial support of the USAID. And we want to thank them for this, for the United States, because indeed they appear to be a good friend in this, in helping us to enhance these processes in the legal framework. And definitely, it is very important now to be all the stakeholders together and be involved in the reform of justice. And the most important support is, by the way, offered from the United States of America. I guess this is because this is the country that understands the best how important it is to have a justice, a transparent justice system that works according to the legal framework. Without any deviation. So, Mr. Ambassador, thank you once again. Coming back to the study, our colleagues from the ministry discussed with us, and we will definitely apply the knowledge that was the knowledge that is in that evaluation, and hopefully we can finalize the action in 2024 according to our plan. Of course, there are deficiencies when it comes to arbitration, and the practitioners that work in this field, they know very well what are the deficiencies, and the purpose, our main joint purpose, and I hope we will create a working group in that sense. So the purpose is going to be to eliminate those deficiencies from the practice. Another very important aspect is the involvement of the Ministry of Justice in two actions. So it's the coordination of the process of presenting the interests of the state in commercial international arbitration processes. We have a role to play there. If there is a governmental decision that regulates this field, so the Ministry of Justice has a selection committee. Many authorities have representation in that committee, and in an eventual case of a litigation where the Republic of Moldova is involved at an international level, we have a very clear role to play. And that regulation needs also to be improved. This is what we also want to do. The colleagues that participate in the process, they know very well what are the deficiencies and what are the challenges. And definitely they need to be revised in order for the arbitrary institution under all its aspects to be well regulated, in order for the business environment to have a clear basis, a predictable environment, and very well guided legislation. So thank you very much for this opportunity. Once again, it's a great conference and it's very timely because it's going to be like an introduction what the government intends to do in terms of revision of the legal framework for the next year. So good luck, everyone, and stay healthy. Thank you very much. Thank you for being with us, and I'm sure that the ministry is going to support us as follows. Why we have two legislation? Catalin, do you have also two legislations in Romania? Two in one. You know, we also had a phenomenon in Moldova that Parliament used to pack, at that point, they used to pack some air into the legislation, you know, this is how we call it. It meant that we had to have as many legislation as possible, so that's probably the explanation why we had two legislation that actually had to be in one. Okay, coming back to the study that was made shows some peculiarities of that, but we will come back to it. Mr. SERBENCO, we have to understand better what is the selection process, because our office participated, but we lost. And, you know, the people told us that, you know, in Stockholm, we found a very good company, and we asked them, offer us some good prices. And they asked, what do you mean good prices? And by the end of the day, the ministry was always telling us, no, it's very expensive. For a good but for a good representation, you have to pay money for that. Because, you know, cheap things, they come with certain challenges. So a good offer, well-negotiated offer, would be the appropriate approach, because of course we talk about a state, and the power of a state is related to its capacity to also negotiate. But our colleagues from Romania told us, hey brothers, we have to give the best price, but we cannot give you any guarantee, because the criteria is 100%, not 70 to 30, not 60 to 40. Victor BACIU is, he has many responsibilities in AmCham, but also he is the Secretary General of the court. Yes, I have a new function. Dear colleagues, dear partners, I am glad to be here in front of you today and to be one of those that participate in the opening of this conference. I'm going to try to be short. First of all, thank you very much for coming to this event. I am very glad to see as many people in the room and those also that are in Zoom. Thank you very much to our speakers that are in front. They have a great experience in their practice, and thank you for their willingness to share that experience with us today. I have a hope that this event is going to represent a permanent platform for exchange of experience and ideas in order to make professional connections, why not? And also to actually raise the interest for arbitration. I invite you to be curious, to ask questions, to have as open as possible discussions, and we will try further to create a community that will be developed in time and will become a community working for and in the arbitration field. Yes, I do insist on you to scan this code. Because definitely you will have some questions. The subjects are hot. We wanted for this conference to be practical and not theoretical. And this is how we chose the subjects. And normally we shall have questions because these questions will bring us solutions and answers to some maybe some also components for the future legislation, because we see how open the Parliament is this phase, and this is going to be our contribution. And I hope that the project is reproducing the ideas from the study, because the study is a fundamental tool. And before asking Valerio to present the study, I want to bring gratitude to Madam Zinaida Gutu, who wrote the first two studies in this field many years ago. And these are fundamental documents. We inspired from them. Unfortunately, they are on the shelf, not used so much anymore. And I think they had to be translated in real life. Maybe that is why we still have some issues, because we didn't do that at the right time. And we had to collaborate more with between stakeholders in the law system.
So that being said, I would like to thank all the speakers for the introduction words, and we launched the first panel that is dedicated to the International Commercial Arbitration Panel.